Okay, Shalom. This is Sasanya. I'm back again with the reading from the HalleluYah scriptures. We just completed Yirmiyahu. We are entering Ye, Yehezqel, 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 or Ezekiel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yehezqel. Okay. Um, and as this is a continuation of the previous video, well, Father, just please give me understanding, knowledge, and wisdom concerning your reading. Help me discern what it is that I'm reading. Father, lead me into all truth. Please don't let me be deceived by the enemy. And just Father, give me deep understanding. Help me to put the scriptures together correctly, to understand one scripture as it relates to another precept and how they go together. Allow your Ruach to lead me, Father, into all truth. Those and all other things I pray and ask in your name. So be it, and may it be so. Okay. Yeah, it feels kind of weird just not praying or not saying anything at all. So all right, so Yehezqel, Yehezqel, or Ezekiel, chapter 1. Okay, and it came to be in the 30th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th of the month, as I was among the exiles by the river Kabar, the Shamaim were opened, and I saw visions of Elohim. Wow. And on the 5th of the month, in the 5th year of sovereign Jehoiakim's exile, the word of Yah came expressly to Yehezqel, the Kohen, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Kestites by the river Kabar, and the hand of Yah came upon him there. And I looked and saw a whirlwind coming out of the north, and a great cloud with fire flashing itself. And brightness was all around it, and out of its midst, like glowing meadow, out of the midst of the fire, and out of the midst of it came what looked like 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Each one had 4 faces, and each one had 4 wings. And their feet were straight feet, and the soles of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the appearance of polished bronze. And under their wings, on their 4 sides, were the hands of a man. And each of the 4 had faces and wings. Their wings touched one another. They did not turn when they went, but they went straight forward. And the likeness of their faces, the face of a man, and each of the 4 had the face of a lion on the right side, and each of the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, and each of the 4 had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread upward, 2 of each touched one another, and 2 covered their bodies, and each one went straight forward, going wherever the Spirit was to go. And they did not turn when they went. And the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearances of torches, moving back and forth among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire was lightning. And the living creatures ran back and forth like the appearance of the flash of lightning, of a flash of lightning. And I looked at the living creatures and saw a wheel on the earth beside each living creature with its 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels and their works was like the appearance of beryl, and all 4 had the same form. The appearance of their works was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went in any one of four directions. They did not turn aside when they went, and their backs were high and awesome, and their backs were covered with eyes all around the four of them. Hmm. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whenever the spirit was to go, they went, because there the spirit went. And the wheels were lifted together with them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Hmm. When those went, these went. When those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up together with them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. And the likeness was over the heads of the living creatures, an expanse like the appearance of an awesome crystal stretched out over their heads. And under the expanse their wings were straight, one toward another. Each one had two which covered one side, and each one had two which covered the other side of the body. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of many waters, like the voice of El Shaddai, a tumult, like the noise of an army. And when they stood still, they let down their wings, and a voice came from above the expanse that was over their heads. When they stood, they dropped their wings, and above the expanse over their heads was the likeness of a throne, in appearance like a sapphire stone. And on the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man high above it, and from the appearance of his waist and upward I saw what looked like glowing metal, with the appearance of fire all around within it. And from the appearance of his waist downward I saw what looked like fire and brightness all around, and the appearance of a rainbow in the cloud on a rainy day. So was the appearance of the brightness all around it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the esteem of Yah. And when I saw it, I fell on my face, and I heard a voice of one speaking. Chapter 2. And he said to me, Son of man, stand on your feet, so that I speak to you. And the Ruah entered into me when he spoke to me, and stood me on my feet. And I heard him when he was speaking to me, and he said to me, Son of man, I am sending you to the children of Yasharal, to the nation of rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me until this day, and the children are stiff of face and hard of heart, to whom I am sending you. And you shall say to them, Thus said the Adon Yah. And they, whether they hear or whether they refuse, for they are a rebellious house, shall know that a Nabi has been in their midst. And you, son of man, do not be afraid of them, nor be afraid of their words. Though thistles and thorns are with you, and you dwell among scorpions, do not be afraid of their words, or discouraged by their looks, for they are a rebellious house. And you shall speak my words to them, whether they hear or whether they refuse, for they are rebellious. And you, son of man, hear what I am speaking to you. Do not be rebellious like that rebellious house. Open your mouth and eat what I'm giving you. And I looked and saw a hand stretched out to me, and see, a, a scroll of a book was in it, and he spread it before me. And it was written on the inside and on the outside, and written on it were lamentations and mourning and woe. Chapter 3. And he said to me, Son of man, eat what you find. Eat this scroll, and go speak to the house of Yasharel. And I opened my mouth, and he fed me with the scroll, or fed me the scroll. And he said to me, Son of man, feed your stomach and fill your stomach with the scroll that I'm giving you. And I ate it, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth. And he said to me, Son of man, go to the house of Yasharel, and you shall speak to them with my words. For you are not sent to a people of foreign speech or of different language, but to the house of Yasharel, not to many people of foreign speech or and of different language whose words you do not understand. If I had rather sent you to them, they would have listened to you. But the house of Yasharel is going to refuse to listen to you, for they refuse to listen to me. For all the house of Yasharel are hard of head and hard of heart. See, I shall make your face as hard as their faces, and your forehead as hard as their foreheads, like adamant stone, harder than flint. I shall make your forehead. Do not be afraid of them, nor be discouraged at their looks, for they are a rebellious house. And he said to me, Son of man, receive into your heart all my words that I speak to you, and hear with your ears, and go. Come to the exiles, to the children of your people, and speak to them, and say to them, Thus says Yah, whether they hear or whether they refuse. And the Ruach lifted me up, and behind me I heard a voice of great rumbling. Barak be the esteem of Yah from his place, and the sound of the wings of the living creatures to get touching one another, and the sound of the wheels beside them, and the sound of a great rushing. And the Ruah lifted me and took me away, and I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit, while the hand of Yah was strong upon me. And I came to the exiles at Tel Abib, who were dwelling at the river Kabar, and I sat where they were sitting, and sat there stunned among them 7 days. And it came to be at the end of the 7 days that the words of Yah came to me, saying, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Yasharel, and you shall hear a word from my mouth, and shall warn them from me. When I say to the wicked, you shall certainly die, and you have not warned him, nor spoken to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his ha, that same wicked man shall die, and in his wickedness, and his blood shall I require at your hand. But if you have warned the wicked, and he does not turn from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his wickedness, and you have delivered your being. And when a righteous one turns from his righteousness, and shall do unrighteousness, when I have put a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because you did not warn him. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done is not remembered, and his blood I require at your hand. But if you have warned the righteous one that the righteous should not sin, and he not sin, and he certainly lived because he has been warned, and you have delivered your being. And the hand of Yah came upon me there, and he said to me, Arise, go out into the plain, so that I might speak to you there. So I got up and went out into the plain, and see, the esteem of Yah stood there, like the esteem which I saw by the river Kabar, and I fell on my face, and the Ruah entered me, and stood me on my feet, and spoke with me, and said to me, Go, shut yourself inside your house, and you, O son of man, see, they shall put cords on you and bind you with them, so that you do not go out in their midst. And I make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, so that you shall be dumb, and not be a reprover to them, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I open your mouth, and you shall say to them, Thus says Yah, he who hears, let him hear. He who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. Okay, chapter 4. I'm going to try to read a couple more chapters. Okay. And you, son of man, take a clay tablet, and you shall lay it before you, and shall inscribe on it a city, Jerusalem, and shall lay siege against it, and build a siege wall against it, and heap up a mound against it, and make camps against it, and place battering rams against it all around. Then take an iron plate, and put it as an iron wall between you and the city, and you shall turn your face against it, and it shall be besieged, and you shall lay siege against it. And it is the sign to the house of Yasharel, and lie on your left side, and you shall put the wickedness of the house of Yasharel on it. As many days as you lie on it, you shall bear their wickedness. For I myself have laid on you the years of their wickedness, according to the number of the days, 390 days, and you shall bear the wickedness of the house of Yasharel. And when you have completed them, you shall lie again on your right side, and shall bear the wickedness of the house of Yehuda 40 days, a day for a year. I have laid on you a day for a year, and you shall turn your face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and your arm bared, and you shall nabah against it. And see, I shall put cords on you, so that you do not turn from one side to another until you have completed the days of your siege. And take wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and split, and you shall put them into one vessel and make bread of them. You shall eat it as many days as you lie on your side, 390 days. And your food which you eat is by weight, 20 shekels a day, to be eaten from time to time, and drink water by measure, 1/6 of a hin to be drunk from time to time, and eat it as a barley cake, and bake it before their eyes as on human dung. And Yah said, even so the children of Yasharel shall eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles to whom I drive them. Then I said, Adonai, Yah, see, I have never defiled myself from my youth till now. I have never eaten what died of itself, or was torn by beasts, nor has unclean meat ever come into my mouth. And he said to me, see, I am giving you the dung of cattle instead of human dung, and you shall prepare your bread over it. And he said to me, son of man, see, I am going to cut off the supply of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with fear, and drink water by measure, and with dread, so that they lack bread and water, and shall be appalled with one another, and be consumed in their wickedness. Chapter 5. And you, son of man, take a sharp sword, take it as a barber's razor, and you shall pass it over your head and your beard, and you shall take scales to weigh and divide the hair. Burn with fire 1/3 in the midst of the city when the days of the siege are completed, and you shall take 1/3 and strike around it with the sword, and scatter 1/3 in the wind, and I shall draw out a sword after them. And you shall take a few from there, and bind them in the edge of your garment, and take again some of them, and throw them into the midst of the fire, and burn them in the fire. For it is a fire shall spread unto all the house of Yasharel. Thus says the Adon Yah. This is Yasharel, Jerusalem, which I have placed in the midst of the Gentiles, with the lands of all around her. But she rebelled against my right rulings, doing wickedness more than the Gentiles, and my laws more than the lands all around her. For they have rejected my right rulings, and they have not walked in my laws. Therefore, thus says Adon Yah, because you have rebelled more than the Gentiles all around you, and have not walked in my laws, nor done my right rulings, nor even done according to the right rulings of the Gentiles all around you. Therefore, thus says the Adon Yah, look, I myself am against you, and shall execute judgments in your midst before the eyes of the Gentiles, and I shall do among you what I have never done, and the like of which I never do again, because of all your abominations. Therefore, fathers are going to eat their sons in your midst, and sons eat their fathers. And I shall execute judgments among you, and scatter you, all your remnant, to the winds. Therefore, as I live, declares Adon Yah, because you have defiled my mikdash with all your filthiness, therefore I also withdraw, and my eyes shall not pardon, nor shall I spare. 1/3 of you shall die of pestilence, and be consumed with scarcity of food in your midst, and 1/3 shall fall by the sword all around you, and I shall scatter another third to the to all the winds, and draw the sword after them. And my displeasure shall be completed, and I shall bring my wrath to rest upon them, and I shall be erased, and they shall know that I, Yah, have spoken it in my ardor, when I have completed my wrath upon them. And I shall make you a waste and a reproach among the Gentiles that are all around you, for the eyes of all who pass by, and it shall be a reproach, an object of scorn, a warning, and an astonishment to the Gentiles that are all around you, when I execute judgments among you in displeasure and in wrath, and in heated chastisement. I, Yah, have spoken it. When I send against them the evil arrows of scarcity of food, which shall be for their destruction, which I send to destroy you, I shall increase the scarcity of food upon you, and cut off your supply of bread. And I shall send against you scarcity of food and evil beasts, and they shall bereave you. And pestilence and blood shall pass through you, while I bring the sword against you, and I, Yah, have spoken it. Okay, chapter 6. And the word of Yah came to me, saying, Son of man, turn your face toward the mountains of Yasharel and Nabah against them. And you shall say, O mountains of Yasharel, hear the word of Adon Yah. Thus said the Adon Yah to the mountains, to the hills, to the ravines, and to the valleys, Look, I myself am bringing a sword against you, and I shall destroy your high places, and your altars shall be ruined, your sun pillars shall be broken in pieces, and I shall make your slain fall in front of your idols, and lay the corpses of the children of Yasharel in front of their idols, and scatter your bones all around your altars. And all your dwelling places, the cities shall be destroyed, and the high places deserted, so that your altars are broken and bear their punishment, and your idols shall be destroyed and made to cease, and your sun pillars cut down, and your works blotted down, and your works blotted out. Oh, I'm sorry, and your sun pillars cut down, and your works blotted out, and the slain shall fall in your midst, and you shall know that I am Yah. But I shall leave a remnant, and that some of you shall escape the sword among the Gentiles when you are scattered throughout the lands. And those of you who escape shall remember me among the Gentiles, where they have been taken captive, because I have been broken by their adulterous heart, which has turned away from me, and by their eyes, which whored after their idols. And they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have done and all their abominations. And they shall know that I am Yah, and not for naught have I spoken to do this evil to them. Thus is the Adon Yah, strike with your hand and stamp your feet, and say, Alas, because of all the evil abominations of the house of Yasharel, who shall fall by sword, by scarcity of food, and by pestilence. He who is far off shall die by pestilence. He who is near fall by the sword. He who is left over and is besieged die by scarcity of food, and I shall complete my wrath upon them. And you shall know that I am Yah, when their slain are among their idols, all around their altars, on every high hill, all the mountain tops, under the green tree, and under every thick oak, whether they offered sweet, wherever they offered sweet incense to all their idols. And I shall stretch out my hand against them, and make the land a wasteland, even more waste than the wilderness toward Diblah, in all their dwelling places, and they shall know that I am Yah. Okay, I'm going to read chapter 7, and I'm going to probably just go ahead and close out. Okay, chapter 7. And the word of Yah came to me, saying, And you, son of man, this is is what the Adon Yah said to the land of Yasharel. An end, the end has come upon the four corners of the land. Now the end is upon you, and I shall send my displeasure against you, and judge you according to your ways, and repay you for all your abominations. And my eye shall not pardon you, nor would I spare, for I repay your ways while your abominations are in your midst, and you shall know that I am Yah. Thus says Adon Yah, a calamity only and only calamity. Look, it has come. An end has come. The end has come. It has awakened against you. Look, it has come. The turn has come to you, O inhabitants of the land. The time has come. A day of uproar is near, and not of rejoicing in the mountains. Soon I shall pour out my wrath, and shall complete my displeasure upon you, and judge you according to your ways, and repay you for all your abominations. And my eye shall not pardon, nor would I spare. I give you according to your ways, while your abominations are in your midst. And you shall know that I am Yah who smites. See the day, see it is come, the turn has come, the rod has blossomed, pride has budded, the violence has grown into the rod of wickedness. There is none of them, and none of its crowd, and none of their riches, and none eminent among them. The time has come, the day is arrived. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is on all its crowd. For the seller should not return to what has been sold, though they are still alive. For the vision is for all its crowd, it shall not turn back. And because of his wickedness, no one holds fast to his life. They have blown the trumpet, and all is prepared, but no one goes to battle. For my wrath is on all its crowds. The sword is outside, and the pestilence and the scarcity of food inside. And he who is in the fields die by the sword, and he who is in the city scarcity of food and pestilence devour him. While they who escape of them shall escape and be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning each for his wickedness. All hands go limp, and the knees become as water. And they shall gird on sackcloth and be covered with trembling, and shame shall be on every face, and baldness on all their heads. They throw their silver into the streets, and their gold becomes as filth. Their silver and their gold is undoable to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yah. They do not satisfy their appetite, nor fill their stomachs, because it has been their stumbling block of wickedness. And the splendor of his ornaments, he made it in excellency. But they made from it the images of their abominations and their filthiness. Therefore I shall make it like filth to them, and I shall give it for prey into the hand of the strangers, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall profane it. And I shall turn my face from them, and they shall profane my secret place, for destroyers shall enter it and profane it. Make a chain, for the land has been filled with crimes of blood, and the city has been filled with violence. And I shall bring the evil ones of the Gentiles, and they shall possess their houses, and I shall cause the pride of the strong to cease, and their Mikdashim shall be profaned. Destruction shall come, and they shall seek peace, but there is none. Calamity upon calamity shall come, and report shall be upon report, and they shall seek a vision from a Nabi, but the Torah has perished from the Kohen, and counsel from the elders. Let the sovereign mourn, and let the prince put on despair, and let the hands of the common people tremble. And I shall deal with them according to their ways, and judge them with their own right rulings, and they shall know that I am Yah. Okay, chapter 8. And it came to be in the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th of the month, as I sat in my house with the elders of Yehudah sitting before me, and the hand of the Adon Yah fell upon me there, that the hand of the Adon Yah fell upon me there. And I looked and saw a likeness like the appearance of fire from his waist and downward. The appearance was like fire, and from his waist and upward the appearance of brightness like glowing metal. And he stretched out the form of a hand and took me by a lock of my hair. And the Ruah lifted me up between the earth and the Shamayim and brought me in visions of Elohim to Jerusalem, to the door of the north gate of the inner court, where the seat of the image of jealousy was, which causes jealousy. And see, the esteem of Elohim of Yasharel was there, like the vision that I saw in the plain. And he said to me, Son of man, please lift your eyes toward the north. And I lifted my eyes northward, and north of the altar gate I saw the image of jealousy in the entrance. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see that they do you see what they are doing, the great abominations which the house of Yasharel are doing here, driving me away from my mikdash? And you are able to see still greater abominations. Then he brought me to the door of the court, and I looked and saw a hole in the wall. And he said to me, Son of man, please dig into the wall. And when I dug into the wall, I saw a door. And he said to me, Go in and see the evil abominations which they are doing there. And I went in and looked and saw all kinds of creeping creatures, abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Yasharel carved all around on the walls. And facing them stood 70 men of elders of the house of Yasharel, and in their midst stood Yaazanyahu, son of Shaphan. Each one had a censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. And he said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Yasharel are doing in the dark, each one in the room of his idols? For they say, Yah does not see us. Yah has forsaken the land. And he said to me, You are to see still greater abominations which they are doing. And he brought me to the door of the north gate of the house of Yah, and I saw women sitting there weeping for Tammuz. Then he said to me, How have you seen this, O son of man? You are to see still greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the house of Yah, and there at the door of the HalleluYah of Yah, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the HalleluYah of Yah and their faces toward the east. And they were bowing themselves eastward toward the sun. And he said to me, Have you seen, O son of man? Is it a small matter to the house of Yehudah to do the abominations which they have done here? For they have filled the land with violence and turned back to provoke me. And see, they are putting the branch to my nose. Therefore I shall indeed deal in wrath. My eye shall not pardon, nor would I spare. And they shall cry in my ears with a loud voice, but I shall not hear them. Chapter 9. And he called out in my hearing with a loud voice, saying, Let the punishers of the city draw near, each with his weapon of destruction in his hand. And look, 6 men came from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with his battle axe in hand. And one man in their midst was clothed with linen and had a writer's inkhorn at his side. And they came in and stood beside the bronze altar, and the esteem of Elohim of Yasharel went up from the Kareb, where it had been, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, who had the writer's inkhorn at his side. And Yah said to him, Pass on into the midst of the city, into the midst of Jerusalem, and you shall put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and cry over all the abominations that are done within it. And to the others he said in my hearing, Pass on into the city after him, and smite. Do not let your eye pardon nor spare. Slay to destruction, young men, maidens, and children, and women, but do not come near anyone upon whom is the mark, and begin at my mikdash. So they began with the elders who were in front of the house, and he said to them, Defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Okay, go out. And they went out and smote in the city. And as they were smiting them, it came to be that I alone was left. And I fell on my face and cried out and said, Adonai, Yah, Are you destroying all the remnant of Yasharel and pouring out your wrath on Jerusalem? And he said to me, the wickedness of the house of Yasharel and Yehuda is exceedingly great, and the land is filled with bloodshed, and the city filled with that which is warped. For they say, Yah has forsaken the land, and Yah is not seen. But as for me, my eyes shall not pardon, nor would I spare. I shall recompense their deeds on their own head, and see the man clothed with linen who had the iron horn at his side reported back and said, I have done as you commanded me. All right, so thank you for joining me in this reading. We've we read through chapter 9, Ezekiel chapter 1 through 9. When I rejoin, when I come back, we will begin with chapter 10. Thank you. Have a blessed Shabbat. Good evening.